and gentlemen around this big, beautiful blue marble we call Earth, in whatever city you may live in. Welcome to episode 181 of the VWU Sports Podcast. I'm, of course, the owner and founder of the bar, Mr. Jacob B. You can call me Jake the Snake, JB. Doesn't matter what you call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. I am being joined, as always, by my co-host, the bar keys, first and foremost, Mr. Brandon C.
Yeah.
We're also being joined by the HNIC himself, Mr. C. Carter.
Mm-hmm.
We're also being joined by our executive producer, now on a shortened schedule in real life, Mr. Jose Blanco.
Oh,
there you go. Anyways, we're also being joined by our regulars, first and foremost from the West Coast, Mr. Matty Dangerously.
I'm still waiting for the Lakers new to get the damn center already.
Yeah, aren't we all? We're also being joined by the East Coast, by the Savage Man himself, Mr. Jamal Bedlam. Of course, he is muted. And we're also being joined, making his return after being somewhat suspended for 3 or 4 months due to past actions. Making his return back to the bar from the Midwest. Please welcome back the Hellraiser himself, Mr. Cody Hagan. All right, we'll let the sheep in. Welcome in, Cody. Good to have you back.
I hate Bay haters. Piss off.
All right, steady. And we're also being joined
by
the owner of the Worldwide Wrestling Alliance, Mr. Hickey Worldwide. Welcome in.
All right, since we're letting the Hagen back in, for the love of God, I would just like for everyone to do us all a favor. For the love of God, please get our information right.
Will do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's understandable and fair. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about on this, the 1st of July, 2025. Welcome to the month of July, the month of summer, the month of heat, the month of fireworks, depending on where you at in this big, beautiful blue marble. So let us not waste any more time. Let's get this show underway, shall we, gentlemen?
Yeah.
The days of the Steelers saga continues.
Yep.
Yeah, you can say that.
They're not the biggest idiot. They're not the biggest idiots so far. Let's talk about the biggest idiots. The Miami Dolphins.
Oh,
what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing signing Darren Waller? No, seriously.
Oh, that was a dumb move. Wow.
Okay.
What are y'all doing signing him?
Yeah, that's a good question. First and foremost, they start today by doing a little bit of wheeling and dealing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mika Fitzpatrick is going back to Miami. In return, Jalen Ramsey is making his way out to Pittsburgh.
Not just Jalen Ramsey. Jonnu Smith was the reason why they have Darren Waller in the first place.
Yep.
Which again goes right back to the question: Miami, what are you doing?
You had a genius trade of getting to Pittsburgh, only to decide to flip to negate all that by getting a guy who was already retired to come out just to go to Miami.
Yeah, this trade.
What genius trade? This trade was stupid. Yeah. Pittsburgh wins in this situation.
Yeah, they do it. You know what?
Hold on, Jacob. Let me just point out. Waller going to, is it Walker or Waller?
Waller.
Well, the trade for Waller to go to Miami wouldn't be necessary had they kept Sununu on the team. That trade would not have been necessary. I don't know what's going on in Miami. I have no idea what they're thinking. I have no idea what they're doing.
Now, I'll be fair.
Both teams are idiots. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Both teams are idiots. I accidentally muted my mic. I need the floor. I have been fucking banging on about how trash the Miami Dolphins have been now for how long? I've been banging on about this. I weren't joking when I said I see them finishing last in the AFC East this year. Was I not fucking joking? I've been calling this. I think Pittsburgh won the trade because pretty much the Mika Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey trade I thought was a break even. Jonnu Smith was your best fucking receiver last year due to Tyreek Hill not giving a fuck and Jalen Waddle was hurt. Johnny Smith was one of your constant better weapons last year, and you let him go for a bag of fucking crisp.
I don't know.
What the fuck? And now you get a guy out of retirement, to come and play that role instead. What the fuck are you doing, Miami? You dumb motherfuckers.
I don't know how long Miami Dolphins had.
They still haven't addressed that. And by the way, they haven't addressed that defense at all. So,
No.
Minka was the biggest step they made to address that defense. And
Yeah,
for all intents and purposes,
the loss of Ramsey. Who, let me be clear,
be fair,
I think both are on the decline. Let me be very clear on that. That's
I would still rather trust Minka than Jalen Ramsey.
I would rather have Minka than Jalen. I agree with you on that. But I thought that was a trade which, I could maybe say the Dolphins won a bit. But the Johnny Smith trade makes absolutely fucking no sense, and they're idiots for it.
Well, let me jump back in because former Dolphins player, former Dolphins fullback, Raheem Mostert, I know I'm mispronouncing his name.
Raheem
Choice
Mostert.
words. He put this on Twitter yesterday. He said, "Hot take: be a Pro Bowl on the Dolphins. Get treated like, happy for my guys though. Go ball out." So, well,
what is going on with that Miami organization? What is seriously going on?
Nothing good about that.
The fact of the matter is that this is a very serious head scratcher of what Miami is doing. I mean, you gotta have more good football players on that team besides Tua.
Tua is one of the best QBs from Alabama.
When he's healthy.
Right. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but I think the fact of the matter is that this is a very serious head scratcher. What's going on here in Miami? I mean, I know good and well they're not trying to tank, but it's just I don't know what's going on down there. That's the best way I can put it. I just don't know what's going on down there. I don't know who's wearing the pants. I don't know who's bringing home the bacon. I don't know who's in charge down there.
It feels like there's not many big brains up at the front office in Miami. I feel like it's a bunch of teenagers or toddlers up there just throwing anything at a wall and see what sticks.
Mm-hmm. Now, back to Pittsburgh. Looks like as if we could see looks like T.J. Watt might be on the move.
This is also why I don't think Pittsburgh is fully out of the dead zone yet either. Because you let T.J. Watt walk away, guess what? That Jalen Ramsey trade doesn't have as much meaning as it did before. You didn't solve your problem.
No.
You effectively now made it worse. And you paid Jalen Ramsey money?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a quick question. What do we think TJ what goes for trade-wise? What value?
Knowing Pittsburgh, they're going to be asking for an arm and a leg. Now, Ramsey is... Hold on, Jacob. Ramsey is getting a $1.5 million raise this season, bringing his 2025 compensation up. Yeah, he's getting a raise. Bringing his 2025 compensation up to $26.6 million. The Steelers are taking the bulk.
At that point, it's not even worth it.
Yeah,
not even worth
the
it.
Steelers are taking the bulk of Ramsey's contract for this season, with the Dolphins paying $3 million.
It's not even worth it. It's seriously not even worth it.
Yeah, like I said, so Pittsburgh, first and foremost, you better find some way to keep T.J. Watt, because if you send him away, you ain't gonna give him in the season this year. I'm sorry.
No, you're gonna be about a 9-8.
You weren't winning this season, even with him. Without him, you're even in a worse position. Yeah, you have an expensive defense. But what has that done for you? You haven't won a playoff game in nearly 10 years at this point. What are you doing? Lamar Jackson has more playoff wins than your entire team has had in 10 years. And he hasn't even been around for 10 years.
That's
good point. Yep.
How serious do you expect people to take you as a team? You're going to keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Crazy.
Let me also bring this up. Hold on, Jimmy. Let me also bring this up. 49ers player is in trouble with the law.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Modori, I know I butchered his name, Lenore, was arrested in Los Angeles Thursday night on charges of obstruction of justice.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. So he was released from jail early Friday morning. He's scheduled to appear in court this month, according to jail records. So, according to the LAPD, officers have approached a group that included Lenore and observed a gun inside a parked vehicle. When police, when police asked for the keys, another man tossed them to Lenore. Lenore then threw the keys to a third man who tried to hide them, according to multiple reports. Okay, let me break this down for you, folks. They was basically trying to play hot potato, and this didn't go so well. They said we are aware of the matter involving the player and are in the process of gathering further information. The 49ers said in the statement. Lenore signed a 5-year, $92 million extension with the 49ers back in November. The 2021 fifth-round pick has recorded 6 interceptions, 26 passes defended, and 265 tackles in his first 4 seasons with San Fran. You can't make stupid decisions like that. Come on here. I mean, jeez.
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger did what he did, and he still had a job. So this ain't going to do nothing more than he's still going to have a job.
Now, speaking of still having a job, there's no telling when or if Justin Tucker will get signed, but he's already.
Won't.
He's.
Let me answer that question for you. He won't. He had his worst season ever. He's now got suspended for 10 games, and you really expect the team to want that public mess?
No,
really.
He's done.
He's basically turned into radioactive waste. You don't want to touch him within 5 miles.
And you know what's the dumb thing about this? Fantasy, you were pissed off that I took Justin Tucker. I fucking saved you.
You're right. And the fact that I made it further than you did is also hilarious.
Yeah,
I know. That was funny.
He basically took the bullet from you, which was in the form of a 50 cal.
You're welcome, but also, yeah.
Well, you had to suffer with that, so I'll live.
I can sleep happy knowing that I wasn't like Brandon.
Yeah. In other news, I don't know if you talked about this, but we do have some good news. First, some interesting news coming up out of Ohio. We're going to go to Cincinnati for a bit. For what I've been hearing, the county, I can't remember its name, has reached an agreement with Paycon Stadium, formerly known as Paul Brown Stadium, to extend the lease and also increase the budget to help with renovations to Paycon Stadium.
Well, first of all, Jacob, it's Paycor. Paycor.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's
secondly, the name of the county is Hamilton.
Thank you.
Thirdly, here's the thing, because the new contract apparently is only for up to 2036. I think, I'm not.
So it's basically an 11-year extension.
Now, here's the thing. What happened was that Hamilton County, when they was getting ready to build what was then Paul Brown Stadium, they gave the Bengals the most team-friendly deal you have ever seen.
Yep.
The county was willing to foot the bill to build a new stadium and keep renovating it for as long as the lease. So every time when the stadium needs upkeep, the taxpayers of Hamilton County have to foot the bill. So, and I guess I don't know how they're going to work the contract this time. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I do. Because when they made the announcement for the renovations, the Bengals going to have to foot the majority of the bill of it. Because Hamilton County is only going to contribute up to $350 million.
Yeah, the rest is going to go. It's going to come straight from the organization.
Hold on, Cody. Who in turn got a loan from the NFL to do so.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. It only benefits Cincinnati Bengals, but not the Browns.
Well, hold on, Clay. We'll get to the Browns in just a minute.
We'll get to that in a second.
You put me that he's right.
Before we get to the Browns, we do have some uplifting news to report, and we just got this earlier this week. Randy Moss, who had to miss a big majority of the NFL season broadcasting wise because he had to battle with some cancer. Well, we do have some good news to report. He will be coming back to NFL Sunday Countdown for this season because he has done well on his cancer treatments.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that's
good news.
That's awesome.
He's still hanging around.
That's great news. Now, back to Ohio, the Browns are getting a new stadium. I don't know why. They don't deserve it, but yeah,
The Brownies.
yeah. They
Tell us how you really feel, Carter.
Like I said, they don't deserve it, but the Browns are getting a new stadium thanks to the governor. The governor signed a deal to help for the state of Ohio to pitch in and help pay for the Browns' new stadium.
They can help the Browns, but they ain't gonna help the players. Well, at least one of them, at least.
Let me see.
The thing is here's a head scratcher here because Cleveland hasn't been good in so long, and yet I know they had a small blimp on the squeeze a couple of seasons ago, but that was it. When they beat Pittsburgh in the wild card.
Wasn't that in 2020 though?
Yeah.
What happened to that QB they had when they beat Pittsburgh?
He went
Oh,
to
I know
Tampa.
where he's at. He went to fucking Tampa Bay.
Yeah, because the Browns said we want a grown man to be our quarterback.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent idea. What do? You grab Deshaun Watson from from Houston, and look where he's ended up.
Well, he had a ton of problems written around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
you have to get rid of him.
Yeah, a lot
You
of
can't keep going with this.
Yeah, I was about to say a lot of lawsuits came in his direction, and Jimmy Haslam looked like a complete doofus on camera.
Idiot.
Yeah,
But
so,
and for what we've seen in concept designs, they're going to be going for a dome style stadium to help combat with northern Ohio weather.
basically, Jacob, this stadium is a warehouse. It's
they're
going to be a literally factory of sadness.
it literally is. Yeah, it's literally a factory.
How much they're paying for this?
That's a good question, actually. How much is the bill for this upcoming new stadium?
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay.
I got the article. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has signed a 2-year, $60 billion budget that sets aside $600 million in unclaimed funds for a new Cleveland Browns stadium.
Jesus Christ.
The Republican governor, yes, we're burning money here on this show. The Republican governor signed the budget late Monday night.
Oh no, it's burning more than just money.
The Republican governor signed the budget late Monday night, about 45 minutes before the midnight deadline. The Haslam Sports Group, owner of the Browns, have requested that the state help build a new $2.4 billion dome stadium in suburban Brook Park, south of Cleveland. DeWine has proposed doubling taxes on sports betting to help the Browns, as well as the Cincinnati Bengals and other teams that might seek faculty upgrades. But the legislature used some of the $4.8 billion in unclaimed funds the state is holding on to in small sums. Residents left behind from dormant bank accounts, uncashed checks, and forgotten utility deposits. Currently, there's a 10-year time limit before the money reverts to the state. In the statement issued last week, the Browns called the budget approval a tremendous milestone from our organization and said DeWine and the legislature worked together to find a reasonable way to support such a transformative project.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The reasonable bit, was it in quotes?
Some tells me it was in heavy air quotes.
Yeah, we got quote. Yeah, there were quotation marks. Yeah.
There were quotations, but I don't think this was reasonable.
Yeah, it
That's
says
just me.
that. Now the governor said this is a win for taxpayers, for me, and it will provide significant money to things that improve the quality of life in Ohio. Well, okay,
Lion in Ohio.
Okay, time out, because we better get ready to go to the new subject soon.
Right, that is
But here's the
ridiculous
thing.
news.
Yeah, here's the thing, because he says this for the betterment of the life in Ohio. So folks in Ohio, they must want a brand new. They must want to put the bill for a brand new
Live in
stadium.
Ohio, but that new stadium with the saddest team in the North, the Cleveland Browns. Jeez, I'm sorry.
You know what is. You know, I feel like Cleveland deserves a new stadium, but a new arena. That's just me, though. The Cavaliers.
Yes.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with Rocket.
With the Rocket,
Yeah, nothing wrong with not Rocket Muller Arena.
Yeah.
I bet you that all of Cleveland, that the Cleveland fans have more power to the Cavaliers than the Browns. I'll be honest.
Who isn't?
Yeah. Anyways, let's get out of this before we go deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Bye, Cleveland.
Let's just go ahead and just hit the ice.
Anyways,
y'all ready for a giant ass trade game?
What the fuck was that?
Because I am. I'm about to tell you most of the trades that happened on July 1st in NHL free agency. So, Carter, why don't you fill in that void for me while I go get that up?
Well, first and foremost, the Panthers have been busy. They pretty much signed the majority of their roster. So we got
they're going to 3-3.
Yes, they are. Some of the big dudes. Yeah.
Okay,
How I wish we were at Revo with here right now.
That's a good question. Now,
no worries.
First and foremost, the Canucks, they signed Brock Boza on a new 7-year contract carrying a $7.25 million AAV contract. So he's going to be with Vancouver for a little while longer. Jake Allen is staying with the Devils. He's staying with the Devils. Going to be a 5-year deal.
Who the fuck is that?
He's one of the goaltenders for the Devils.
Running with the devil.
Okay, easy over there. I'm trying to think of who. Van Halen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Jake Allen?
He's one of the. I just told you he's one of the goalies for the Devils.
For the Devils.
Now, also Vladislav Gavlikov. You know what? I just bet the listeners just love tuning here just to hear me butcher names. Have agreed with the Rangers for a 7-year deal worth $45 million. It's a 7-year contract extension.
Speaking of the Rangers, before we continue on, we do have some trade rumors going around that the Rangers are reportedly working on trading Keandre Miller to Carolina, believe it or not. Yeah,
Coming from the team that didn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals over Florida, holy smokes! Can they do it this time?
Let's hold up on listening to the rumors for now and just stick to the story. Now,
fair enough.
Also, Corey Perry is on the move.
Oh God!
He's going to Los Angeles. I don't know why I was about to say Kansas.
Oh God. Oh God, the Kings are taking up the Corey Perry invitation.
Well, what other saga here?
Relieved.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, Hawkins gonna take a big sour relief knowing that dude's gone from Edmonton.
Yeah, so he's on the move. He signed a 1-year contract worth $2.5 million.
For real?
Yes. So
Oh wow!
yes. So he's gone to L.A. Also, the Kings have signed Joe Armia to a
Armia?
2-year,
Armia.
$2.5 million deal. A defenseman, Cody Cece, to a 2-year, $4.5 million deal. Defenseman, Brian Dumoulin, for a 4-year deal, and goaltender Anton Forsberg to a 2-year, $2.25 million deal.
LA
Yeah.
Kings replied, "Well," end quote, about getting Corey Perry.
Yes.
I know how you feel, LA Kings. I know from Corey Perry's saga.
This is coming from Nashville. The Predators have signed former Lightning defenseman Nick Perbex to a 2-year deal.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, I just want to point this out. I'm pretty sure Nashville just want to put what happened last season behind them, because last season was a complete debacle.
Disaster.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure just want to put that season behind them.
And finally, Columbus has they have signed Ivan Proporov for a 7-year, $8.5 million deal. Well, he's back.
That's not bad, honestly. Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one I feel like is going to be interesting is Colin Blackwell, 2 years, $775,000 AAV. That's just me though.
Okay.
Now let me also bring this up, fellas, that the NHL draft was over the weekend.
Really?
The
First
draft.
and foremost, the Islanders had the number 1 overall draft pick, and they chose Matthew Schaefer.
Schaefer, yeah.
Matthew Schaefer.
Matt Schaefer. Matt Schaefer went number 1 overall in the draft. San Jose had the 2nd overall pick, believe it or not. I don't have the draft order, so sue me on that.
Number 2.
1 minute.
You're good.
San Jose chose Michael Misa.
Believe it or not, Bailey was actually there to actually introduce the pick.
I was about to say, was she in the first round? She introduced the player.
She's a sad Sharks fan.
Of course, she's a
from San Jose. So
yeah, what do you expect?
Chicago had number 3, and they chose Anton Frondale.
Yep.
Sweden.
Number 4, Utah chose Caleb Denoyes.
Yeah, Caleb Denoyes is now going to the Utah Mammoth.
I like that new name so far.
Yeah. Nashville chose Bradley Martin. Or do we have them up now?
Okay, so the 32 picks go Islanders, Sharks, Chicago, Utah, Nashville, Philadelphia, Boston, Seattle, Buffalo, Anaheim, Pittsburgh, another Pittsburgh from the Rangers, Detroit, Columbus, Vancouver, 2 Islanders pick.
Yeah, but just that's it.
Hold on, Jose.
Yeah, number 6, Philadelphia picked Porter Martone, right winger from Brampton.
A junior league and from Canada.
Yep. Yeah. Boston, number 7.
I think that's the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boston chose James Hagens.
Yep.
Yeah.
From Boston College.
Number 8, Seattle chose Jake O'Brien. Oh, great. I just want to point this out. They put 2 of my favorite characters from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, put them together. Jake Sisko and Miles O'Brien. Jake O'Brien, live.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, so they chose Jake O'Brien, number 8. Buffalo, number 9, chose
Radim
Maka.
Yeah. Czech Republic.
Seattle's WHL team.
Yep.
The Seattle Thunderbirds. Yeah, the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Cool name.
And Anaheim had
Thunderbirds are going.
Anaheim had number 10. They chose Roger McQueen.
What a name!
And by the way, to answer your question, yes, he did go full Disney. He chose number 95.
I love it.
Wow. Yeah, so he was drafted from Brandon.
Yep. No, not that Brandon. The other Brandon.
Not this Brandon, but we're talking about the city of Brandon.
Yeah, the city of Brandon. Yeah.
Yeah, the Brandon.
Yeah, there is a town named Brandon.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, the
state
Brandon
is that?
Vikings.
Yep, the town named Brandon in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah, but as I said, that's from the top 10. So far with this phase going on in the NHL, a lot of teams making deals here and there, left and right. We also got to talk about. I know this was brought up about the league, and I don't know why they're doing this, but the league is talking about expansion again. And I mean, here's the thing: the league is already at 32 teams, with Seattle being Utah, technically Utah, but
Yeah.
Utah being the latest team to be in the NHL. But now they're discussing about possibly expanding to Atlanta, Houston,
That's what I heard. Yep, Houston,
Austin, Indianapolis, and New Orleans.
Not sure about last two. I mean, Indianapolis, I get it, but New Orleans?
But here's the thing, and I brought this up on Discord. Hold on, Jacob. Give me a sec. I brought this up on Discord. There
Thank
we go.
you.
I brought this up on Discord. I don't see Indianapolis getting the team.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how
I
come.
know.
Hold on.
Look,
Let me
Cody,
explain.
as much as it would be cool for you because you are an Indiana boy and you are Indianapolis till the day you die, I don't think it would work.
They already
Let me
got the
explain.
hockey team quickly.
Whoa. Let me explain, fellas.
Okay.
Because the city of Indianapolis is within the Blackhawks market.
Yeah, that. You got to think about that. And the last time a team went into another team's market was the Islanders. And if you remember when the Islanders got started up, they had to go behind the 8 ball and had to pay a fine because they were in Rangers country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were invading the Rangers territory.
Yeah, and they had to pay. They had to pay a fine.
Here
So
in Indianapolis look like we give a fuck.
You probably might not, but I'm pretty sure anyone that wants to own the Indianapolis NHL team going to have to pay extra to Chicago since they're invading their territory.
Yeah, and when the Islanders started up, they had to pay. I think it was like what, $5 million just because they were invading Rangers country. Nowadays, it might be up to maybe $20 million.
Now, which is how come we haven't seen the return of the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah, because
Quebec City, the province of Quebec is basically ruled by Montreal.
The province of Quebec is Canadians country, and if the Nordiques ever do decide to come back, if they actually listen, unfortunately, it's the same issue.
The Canadian dollar.
Yep.
Yeah, and also restitution fees. Okay, same thing. If it would be the same issue if they decide to bring a team to Houston, they're going to have to deal with the fact that it's Stars country.
Not necessarily, because Houston is like in a completely different region than Dallas.
Well, okay, that's fair. They can get by with the fact that Houston is a different city. That's a little bit farther away from Dallas. So they can get away with that. So
whoa, Jacob, hold on. Also, Austin, I don't know. Austin's basically kind of like within Dallas's territory, so I don't see Austin getting an NHL team. Now, hold on.
Yeah, Austin, I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. And I don't mean to break your heart, Jacob. I don't see New Orleans getting an NHL team.
Me neither.
Because
I wasn't even hoping of getting a team in New Orleans because it's hard enough trying to get a team with the Pelicans to stay stable along with the Saints. So I doubt having an NHL team in New Orleans.
Hold on. Pelicans and stable? Jacob, nice joke.
Thanks. I'll be here all week. Anyway, but yeah,
I just want to say that
because
sorry, I do want to say that New Orleans does have a history of very bad owners in terms of teams. So what's good if you have one more
New
to the
Orleans
list?
Jazz, for example.
Don't get me started on the fucking Jazz. Anyways, But yeah, Houston might be a good idea because Houston does have history with owning a hockey team. If you remember back in the WHL, they actually had a team called the Houston Arrows.
So the classic. Well, first off, it's WHA.
Oh, the WHA. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the WHA. Yeah.
Secondly, Houston did have an AHL franchise that carried the Arrows before the Minnesota Wild moved the Arrows to Iowa to become the Iowa.
Iowa?
Yeah, the Iowa.
Iowa. Okay.
So Houston could work because of their history. So Houston could work.
Now,
Atlanta.
Here's the question. We're gonna move on because we got a lot more to talk about. But
Yeah, we do.
Question:
Yeah.
If Houston does get an NHL team, would they need to probably renovate the Toyota Center?
I mean, minor renovations. It is. It could work. I mean, just a little minor upgrades to make it NHL ready wouldn't be too hard. I mean, it's not going to be that expensive because the Toyota Center is already up to modern standards. It's just a matter of just renovating the floor to make it NHL have NHL standards. You know.
Now, remember, hold on, Jose, because remember the NHL rink is bigger than the NBA court.
Yeah, but not too big. It's only big by not much on area. Yeah, but of an NHL of an NBA court. I think it's like a couple of maybe 10 or 20 square feet.
Yeah, keep in mind with the NHL we also have to include the penalty boxes.
True. So it's maybe like 10, 20 to maybe 20 to 40 square feet.
There's somewhere around that mark.
In that round area. So it's not that hard to renovate, and they're only going to lose maybe a couple seats, a couple hundred seats. So
let's go ahead and let Jose get a word in before we move on.
Yeah, go ahead, Jose.
What are the New Orleans Jazz?
The New Orleans Jazz used to be in the NBA before they moved to Utah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, before the Utah Jazz was a thing, they were a part of New Orleans. Before the owner of that time decided, hey, New Orleans Jazz, it was a good idea, but it doesn't work. We're gonna move, and they relocated to Salt Lake City. And he decided to be extra petty and kept the name there.
Yeah, I think the reason they kept the name was because the timing when they moved the team was a little bit too late to change the name of it, so they just kept the Jazz, even though there's no Jazz in Utah. But
not at all.
Now, let me also bring this up because we definitely need to move on. Let me also bring this up that when the New Orleans Hornets were trying to change their name, they wanted to get the Jazz from Utah, but Utah said no. So
we wanted to be back to the Jazz, but the owners of the Utah Jazz said, "Fuck you, get your own name." So that's why we're stuck as the Pelicans, because we kind of had our hands behind our backs.
Yes, that's pretty much about it. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic. So let's go ahead and get to it. Hold on, gentlemen. First and foremost, happy Bobby Bonilla Day, everybody!
What the heck?
Today is Bobby Bonilla Day. Once again, the Mets have to pay up $1.1 million to Bobby Bonilla because of that deferred contract.
Where's that fucking sound effect for the money shits?
Yeah, and so for them, they are still owing Bobby Bonilla, and they still got 10 more years to go.
Yeah, 10 more years.
Okay. I need the floor when it comes to baseball.
All right, go ahead.
The Yankees have been poor. I'm going to admit that. They've been inconsistent, but they've not been as bad as the fucking Mets.
Oh my god!
The collapse that we are seeing from the New York Mets right now.
Yeah, if you want to see inconsistency, go down the subway in Queens.
You want a mid-season collapse? That's what's going on with the Mets right now.
Hey, Jacob, look at my photo.
Here's the thing with the New York Mets. What's going on? Because, boy, imagine being outscored. You know what? You're the only one that would think that's funny. But
Oh, jeez.
Yes, it is funny. Because what in the fuck explains how many games you've been losing? Explain. How do you get blown out by the Pirates?
He's right. 30 to
20 to 9.
4. 30 to 4.
Oh, 30 to 4? So it's even worse. Yes, it is funny. You know what else is funny? You know what else is funny? I need the Rays and the Rangers to come here for a second. How the fuck do y'all lose to the Orioles? Especially the Devil Rays. Yes, I know they're not the Devil Rays anymore, but who gives a shit? How the hell do you lose to the Orioles 22 to fucking 8? How do you do that?
I knew
How?
I knew it.
How?
The clip.
Think about this.
How? The Orioles can't even pitch to save their lives, and yet you let them get 22 runs off of you, and you're supposed to be third in the division? Trash. Garbage. Trash. What is this division?
The Yankees are laughing while they're in first place.
Hold
the phone.
Now, first and foremost,
hold on, Carter. I need to respond to Hagura. We're not laughing. I'm going to admit the Yankees have been inconsistent.
No, I think
yes, they got a series win over the Athletics. They needed one because they've been 500 inconsistent. Pretty much of the Yankees been. I'm dead serious on that. I've not been happy with it. Tampa Bay catching us up. I'm dead honest over that.
Don't forget about
Toronto currently whipping her ass. Here's the deal, though. We will probably steer the ship right. Compared to the fucking collapse which we have seen off the Mets, it makes me absolutely hilarious news for me.
Why were they getting swept by the terrible Pirates? I don't get it.
And speaking of a sports fan that's suffering, hello.
Oh, it's Mr. Weevil from the Red Sox. Uh-oh.
Well, here's the thing. Let me just bring this up as we have Gerwick in the building. Let me bring this up.
That's my notes, friend.
Now, let me bring this up real quick. Because doing that sweep the Mets suffered at the hands of the Pirates, they were outscored 30 to 4.
I just said that.
Wow.
It was brought up like at least 3 different times.
I just think that honestly, in my honest opinion, is this another edition of Low Mets? No.
Yes.
Yes, it should be. Getting swept.
How are you getting swept? 30 to 4. How are you doing that?
How?
To the Pirates.
Again.
By the way, the Rays have no excuse either because you got outswept by the Orioles by over double digits. What are you doing?
Again, like I said in the last week, the grimace checks are bouncing.
Well, here's the thing. Let me go back here because Stephen Cohen, I know I butchered his name. The owner, he said, and I quote, "Test stretch, no sugarcoating it. I didn't see this coming. I'm as frustrated as everyone else."
Oh, fucking wow!
Ow, my ears.
We will get through this period. Our injured pitching will come back over the next few weeks. It is unlikely the team's hitting with runners in scoring position will continue at this week's pace. Keep the faith.
No. No.
Yeah.
That's not gonna.
No.
There is
Jamal,
no way
please,
you could.
please take this for a blow gasket.
There is no way. If I'm a Mets fan right now, I am in full-scale panic stations. How the fuck can you keep the faith?
Sure, yeah.
How the fuck can you keep the faith? I mean, you've gone on this losing streak. You were well ahead in your division, and now you're behind 2 games to the fucking Phillies. Come on, who are we fooling here? Like, that's all I need to say.
We're going to move on because first and foremost, we got to take a trip to General Hospital. Someone is checking out of General Hospital. Paul DeJong is going to make his comeback.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was out since April when he got hit in the face with the ball, so he's making a comeback now. He's being activated from the 10-day injured list on Tuesday, and they option Andreas Chaparro to AAA Rochester. So should be very interesting to see how he'll do.
I'm sorry, I'm not defending the Mets. They've been fucking horrible as of late.
You're good.
Yeah. Now, going to the IL, Kerry Carpenter is heading to the 10-day injured list. I'm pretty sure I drank water before I started this show. Yeah, he's heading to the 10-day injured list due to a right hamstring issue. So he's heading out to the IL for 10 days. Coming off the IL, Boyce Lewis is heading back to the Twins, and just in time as they get ready to start the series against the Marlins. So he'll be back in. Also, Mariners Carl Riley, he belted an MLB leading 33rd home run before the month of July. So this kid's been hitting.
Yeah, and it's funny you brought that up because you should look at the list that Cal Raleigh is with in terms of names who've hit 30-plus homers before July. I'm talking guys like Barry Bonds, like Ken Griffey Jr., like, of course, Mark McGwire.
Yeah. Only Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire have hit more home runs before July the 1st. Barry Bonds with 39 in 2001 and Mark McGwire with 37 in 1998. And if my memory serves me correctly, both those men ended up hitting over 70 home runs by the time the season was over.
Yeah. And Sammy Sosa was in that list as well.
You mean Sammy Sosa before he decided being black wasn't good for his image?
Not touching that, dude.
Jeez. That's one thing.
I'm sorry, but as a brother who had to sit there and watch this man play baseball and then see this man bleach his face, yeah, I'm a little annoyed by that.
So basically, wait a minute. So basically, what you're saying, Jamal, is that he went whiteface.
Oh, he did more than that.
That's just racially insensitive.
He bleached his skin.
I wonder what's his excuse, though. I wonder what was his excuse.
I don't want to know.
I'm Dominican. I'm no black. That's probably not it, but even still.
Yeah. Now, Seattle switch pitcher. Oh, jeez. Huriangelo.
Gerangelo Sinjay.
Yeah, he was among the 9 first-round picks from last year's amateur drafts, selected Monday for the All-Star Futures game at Atlanta's Truist Park on July the 12th. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I believe Andrew Jones is going to be the manager of one of those. Is it Andrew Jones that's going to be one of the managers of one of those teams? For the All-Star Futures game. So should be very interesting to see how they're going to perform. Very, 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 very interesting. Now then, let's go ahead and head on out to the schools. Go ahead, Brandon.
Before you get to the scores, I'm going to let you know. Since we're talking about the Mets here, their game is postponed for tomorrow. So it's going to be a doubleheader between them and the Brewers down in Citi Field.
Yes, because all these three games we're about to bring up, they have been postponed until tomorrow. Padres and Phillies have been postponed because of rain. Tigers and Nationals have been postponed because of inclement weather. which is Wayne. And Brewers and Mets have been postponed until tomorrow because of Wayne. So, like I said, Mother Nature is just not having her way with them. We do have a final. Blue Jays beat the Yankees this afternoon, 12-5.
Damn.
Where did Jacob go?
He'll be there. Probably has issues with the signal.
Yeah, Yankees load a grand slam in the 8th. I don't need to say anymore.
That sucks.
The less said, the better. Now, for the games that's going on right now,
The goddamn Blue Jays and fucking Rays are closing in on the Yankees. That's scary.
Crazy battle right there in the AL.
You love to see it. Bottom of the first, we're scoreless between the Twins and the Marlins.
Just started. Two games just started.
Also, bottom of the first was scoreless between the Cardinals and the Pirates. Coming up later on this evening, over at George Steinbrenner Field, we got the Athletics and the Rays. Tampa, you got a golden opportunity to keep up with the Yankees. The Yankees just lost to the Blue Jays. Let's see if you can keep up with them. As for the A's, speaking of the A's,
God.
one of the players from the Athletics wasn't too happy wasn't too happy that the team is playing in Sacramento.
I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, Brody Brazil was discussing it. Yesterday on his show.
I hope I'm getting this right, but didn't those words come from Luis Severino?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites.
The same guy that signed a 3-year, $67 million contract.
Should have taken a deal from the Mets, you bum.
Yeah, because the A's don't like being accused of being cheap. But you seen how they play. That's answer your question. But here's the thing about what's going on. He said he didn't like it. It doesn't feel the same. Going from a major league ballpark whenever they go on the road to a minor league ballpark whenever they play at home. So, Sutter Health Park.
Home of the Sacramento River Cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sutter Health Park. Just imagine being there. And first and foremost, the clubhouse is basically in a shed. And if the manager gets ejected, he has to take the walk of shame. All the way back to the clubhouse, which is in the shed. But that's just sad. Now, coming up over at Gurrick's neck of the woods in Fairway Park, we got the Reds and the Red Sox.
The Reds and the Red Sox.
That's a Fenway.
Yep. I see a sea of red as this series is about to take place. Over at Truist Park, we got the Los Angeles Angels and the Atlanta Braves.
Braves could pull something easily against the Angels.
Braves need the possible for the All-Star break.
They gotta do something quick.
It's funny you brought it up because, as we just know, we only now know 2 people that are in the Derby out of 8.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is surely going to be playing tonight, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is Cal Raleigh that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 people right now for the home run derby.
Mm-hmm. We'll keep our eyes peeled because I think the home run, the All-Star game is coming up.
I think next week, I guess.
2 weeks. I think it's in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's in 2 weeks. I think it's an All-Star game on July the 15th.
Getting soon, I believe.
It is going to be. Hold on.
15th is the game itself.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks. So yeah.
Okay.
Over at Globe Life Field. Over at Globe Life Field, we got the Orioles and the Rangers. I just want to point this out.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I just want to point this out. Did y'all see Tree's video on the Baltimore Orioles?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, they are. Oh shit.
Mm.
This is not a surprise.
Yeah.
They have a lot of problems they have to take care of, especially in the future. If you don't pay certain players and keep them around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so jeez. Just one of those days, I guess. Just one of those years,
I
I
don't,
guess. Baltimore
still
doing
no, still no excuses for any teams that loosen them. I'm looking at the Rangers from last night. How the hell do you let us win and get 10 runs?
you know something, Jamal, they might be giving you hope.
I don't want hope. Hope is for delusional people.
Basically, you're trying to cut away from the hopium.
That's a good point. Now over at Wrigley Field, we got the Guardians and the Cubs.
Oh yeah.
The
So
Guardian.
let's send it over to the Hoosier and see what's his reaction to this tonight's game.
Is he even paying attention?
Hello.
Hello.
Apparently he's not. So
Well, I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch the game.
Okay, there
You
you
weren't even paying attention to what we were saying.
Okay, let's be honest. The Cubs. I mean, they're not good. They just have.
they're the top of the division.
Yeah, the top of the NL Central.
Yeah.
49-35.
Yeah, I do
lost to
believe
the
they're
Astros
like
last
what, a
game.
couple games ahead of Milwaukee.
We lost an 0-2 game to the Astros.
I can see why he's cautious because he really doesn't want to be caught and bite it, so he can bite his tongue later.
Yeah, it's a smart
yes,
call.
we're leading, but the Brewers are behind us, and so are the Cardinals, and so are the Reds.
It's tight.
It's a smart call to have some optimism, but not to get choking on it. That's smart. It's smart call.
I do not want to choke on the hopium. It's hopium choking hazard is not allowed.
Smart call. Anyways,
Yeah.
coming up.
Also, hold on, Jacob. Over at the probably at Coors Field, we got the Astros and the Rockies.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah,
I wonder how this
over
one's gonna go down.
Well, Jacob, you were gone, and I was gonna make a Busch Stadium joke, but they're playing.
They're not at Busch Stadium. They're at PNC Park.
Can you please give us a joke?
I would, but it doesn't work. My contract states only at home games, not away games. Sorry.
No. Also, sorry.
Hold on, Matt.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just bringing this up because you know how Rhea Ripley's theme is "This is my brutality."
Oh,
well, you're a Rockies fan. This is your brutality.
No.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Anyways, coming up to the nightcap game, starting off at 9:40 over at T-Mobile Park, we got an interesting battle coming up. Interleague matchup. Central taking on West as the Royals make the trip to Seattle to take on the Mariners.
Kansas City got to do something. Hold on. Kansas City got to do something. And they got to do something quickly because they're slumping real bad in that division. It doesn't have that Detroit is pretty much running gunbuster.
They are. Yeah. Detroit is running roughshod in the AL Central. Meanwhile, the Mariners, if I take a look, they are just 6 games behind the lead, behind Houston for the AL West.
Yeah, so just very, very interesting. Now, also coming up over at Chase Field, which we can go ahead and tell you, the Diamondbacks are not going to leave Arizona anytime soon.
The contract went through. They are staying home, staying in Arizona. So all those rumors of them leaving can be burned with a flamethrower.
We got the Giants and the Diamondbacks.
This is going to be a good matchup, to say the least, in the NL West between these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to remember the Giants acquired a player from a certain team in my division. I wonder what team that is.
Hi, Austin. How's that working out for you?
Boy, y'all just making Gurrick feel really.
By the way, isn't he the same guy that was playing on your team when you lost 2 games to the Orioles?
Carter, can I quickly say something to you?
Yeah.
We're only 2 subjects away from this getting worse.
Yes, I know.
Anyways, rounding out the festivities tonight, we might be seeing an execution tonight at Dodger Stadium as the bum White Sox are heading down to SoCal to take on the reigning champion.
Oh, they're gonna get tortured.
I wouldn't call them bums. They have won some games.
Yeah, but so have the Rockies.
28 games. Some games.
Oh, jeez. 28
By
games.
the way, didn't the White Sox got swept by the Orioles, who are also trash.
Oh, you
For
ain't
Dodgers,
There's a lot done, isn't it?
leadership time for the White Sox. It is not a good season for you.
Oh, hold on, gentlemen. You ain't seen none yet. This weekend,
like,
we got the Rockies and the White Sox.
Oh God!
Oh, get the tank.
Yeah, I was talking to manager.
All right, man. Yes, ladies and
As long as you have a
gentlemen.
position open, it
This
should be hard to
weekend.
get you a job. Probably
There you go.
I was about to say, hold on for a second. Oh, here we go. This weekend, ladies and gentlemen, over at Cool Spiel, brace yourselves because it ain't going to be pretty.
Probably will be.
No.
Yeah.
That's gonna get ugly.
What was going on with Jacob lately?
There you go.
There we go.
Like,
okay, there we go. That's good.
Now,
Well, his sister is picking him up, so.
yeah, that's totally understandable. Now then, but like we said, that's not a good way to spend the 4th of July watching two dumpster fires doing battle.
You don't want to be watching. You want to be watching the fireworks, not watching tank baseball.
Well,
Uh,
we're just gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me just scroll back here for a second. Go back to the menu. Yep.
Oh.
Since we do have Gerwick in the house, we might as well just go ahead and head on off. We're gonna go from one pitch to the other.
The days of Manchester City is back.
Yep.
Yeah, let's just get this one out of the way.
Let's do it.
How did they lose to? How did they lose to Al Hilali?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Hold on. Al Hilal are the Real Madrid of Asian football, so it doesn't surprise me, but it's still fucking hilarious.
I didn't know that. Holy shit.
He's commented he lost to Al Hilal.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Let's talk about what's been going on in the Club World Cup. So let's start with the big one. So yesterday, Internacional lost to Fluminense 2-0, but then the big thing happened. Man City, all that talent, and yet all those accusations, and yet they decided to pull out the biggest choke I've ever seen in my life. You know, they lose to Al Hilal 4-3 in double extra time.
No, regular extra time.
Yeah.
Wasn't it regular extra time? Oh.
It's not the biggest double extra time. There's only a half hour of extra minutes, then they go to penalties.
Yes, and they lost. Holy smokes! What the hell, Man City?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they pulled out they let Al Hilali, I think that's from the Middle East. I think
yes, Saudi Arabia.
From the
Saudi Arabian league. They let them come back from a 3-0 deficit to not only tie it up but force extras and penalties, and they lost on penalties. Okay.
If it comes to labor, you might not even.
It wasn't on penalties, dude. It was.
I'm one of the people who does the interviewing.
Yeah, it says a lot, honestly.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and put you on mute for a moment while you're having a conversation with your family.
We do actually have a game that's already happened today. Real Madrid actually took care of Juventus 1-0, and we actually have a game tonight.
Hooray! Real Madrid.
Borussia Dortmund's going to take on Monterrey.
Mm-hmm.
And then they won't continue until this Friday, this Friday weekend.
Yeah.
Did you know
this Friday, which we will have the quarterfinals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Friday we'll have.
So the winner of
hold on. You will have Fluminense versus Al Hilal, and then Almiras against Chelsea.
Ooh, good luck, Chelsea.
Hold on. Now, speaking of Chelsea, well, let's just say this summer has been, well, let's put it like this.
Hello, mate. It's me again. Oh, for God's sake, I thought I blocked your number. Oh, you know us. We always find a way around an embargo. What do you want? I'm very busy waiting to see if Palace get into Europe or not. Because if not, I've got to organise a huge party. It's that time of year again. Ugh, which one do you want this time? We were thinking João Pedro. Oh, you've already taken our best midfielder, our best left back, our best goalkeeper, and our best manager. Don't you already have like 10 forwards? Correction, 12. God, you are the worst. Can't you pick on someone your own size? Admit it, you love us really. God damn it, I do. Come on, what will it take? 30 million? 40? You can have one of our players if you want. Mudryk needs something to do. God, no. No, this only works one way. Look, give us 50 million and then promise to never call me again. Okay, deal. Speak next summer. Speak then.
Well, I got nothing to say right there from that.
Yeah.
50 million? Are you serious?
I'm happy with the one from Ipswich Town, but this one, ooh, that's huge gambling. You ready to put balls on it?
He turned it down on doing my podcast.
You better put something, or else I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those days, unfortunately.
Yeah.
After that, I think Miami took an L.
They ain't ready for PSG. They ain't ready for PSG.
Who is ready for PSG?
Let me check. Next one they said is Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
No. The truth is, who is ready for PSG in general this year?
Definitely. If PSG's been loading up, they're going to be trying to defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, PSG shut out Miami 4-0.
Oh, that hurt.
On the first half.
Expected.
You're telling me that you need more than Lionel Messi to actually help you win games? Utterly shocked, Miami. Utterly shocked.
Yeah, most definitely.
If I could say one thing about the soccer thing is, I've seen this outside of coming back from the podcast. I've been seeing soccer games in the zone.
Interesting spot.
Actually, there's a local channel called what is it?
What?
DAZN?
DAZN Network.
Yeah,
that's on.
DAZN.
Yeah,
that's
on.
DAZN. Yeah, DAZN.
It's the streaming service that does boxing.
Yeah, they do boxing and some other stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
They have the licensing for the Club World Cup, so that's why you've been watching. So
that's why you've been seeing them. Safe to say. And don't forget after tonight, whoever wins between Borussia Dortmund and the other team, they're going to be the ones they're going to be facing up again. If I actually pull this up, if you can get here, you little bitch.
Real Madrid. I have it up for you. They face Real Madrid.
They're going to face Real Madrid in the quarterfinals on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday.
And the other one would be, and the other is PSG versus Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Bayern Munich. And on Friday will be Fluminense versus Al Hilal after their shocking upset, taking down Man City. Thank you, boys. You got yourselves a lot of good fans.
Not exactly. Chelsea, I wouldn't say it's shocking. It's more hilarious.
Yes. While Palmeiras will take it on Chelsea. Then the winners of that will face off in the semis, I think. Next week when we do episode 182.
Tuesday and on Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday. Then on the 13th of Sunday is the grand finale.
Yeah, I say we don't need to go through the whole tournament. We get it.
I know. I was just getting the highlights. So yeah.
Yeah, we get. We're gonna go ahead and switch on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and get to it.
Before we continue, I'm just
ladies first.
Hold on.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Ladies first.
Cody, before you do it, we're gonna do the ladies first. But before that, let me just say a little thing for everybody who's watching in the comments and wondering what those other voices you were hearing from my end. I'm saying this now and forever. I'm heading over to my sister's place to go have some dinner with them. So I'm gonna be going on location to go hang out with friends and family.
Yay!
Yeah.
Anyway, So we do have some very interesting news that's been going on in the women courts. So
first and foremost, we do have an announcement that came in. And first and foremost, Caitlin Clark is going to be out for the Commissioner's Cup final this evening.
Yeah, she's gonna miss. Yeah, she's gonna miss tonight's action because of a groin injury.
Ugh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's gonna be out.
Yeah, that's gonna sting.
Yeah, this is for the Commissioner's Cup.
Yep.
Commissioner's Cup championship game this evening against the Minnesota Lynx at the Target Center.
Yep. And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt them, but it might not hurt them long term because if it's just a mild groin strain, she's only gonna be out for like a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me also bring this up. Caitlin Clark is also going to be one of the stars of the upcoming WNBA All-Star game. In fact, she's going to be captain one of the teams.
Yep, Caitlin Clark getting the nod to be a part of the All-Star game. Congratulations to the big star. Congratulations up all the way to all the stars who are getting the nod for this upcoming All-Star game. Hopefully she shines bright as she has been all season long. So let's see how she does on the All-Star game. You know.
Yep. So here is the All-Star game is going to be in Indianapolis at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Yep, at the Fieldhouse. Yep, back in Indy. Let's hope it actually does better than what happened with the NBA did. So fingers crossed.
Now also,
I guarantee they'll do better.
Caitlin Clark is going to be captain one team, and the other team is going to be Nafisa Collier from Minnesota.
Nafisa Collier, got it.
Ray said yes. July 14th is the Derby.
So the All-Star weekend in Indianapolis tips off on July the 18th with the WNBA 3-point contest and skills challenge.
Can't wait to see how these ladies do. And
the All-Star game is on the 19th.
Yes, indeed.
On ABC.
Can I just ask this, by the way? I heard something going around that Caitlin Clark was voted only the 9th best guard in the WNBA.
What? In what universe?
Who is on that? Who is on that?
I think it was
Sorry.
I think it was a
Sorry.
players poll.
What?
I'm like, I think it was
What?
a players poll. And I'm like, look at this jealous hatred.
What are you talking?
Guys, to be fair, she's doing amazing work, and this is only her second year in the WNBA.
Look, if it's all time, then I can understand because there were plenty of other fantastic guards that came before her in the WNBA. But if it's current, then they're out of their damn minds.
Now, let me also bring this up while I'm in the neighborhood. The WNBA announced they're going to expand again.
Yeah, we actually got some expansion teams that are actually going to be coming. One of them is going to be making their grand return back to Cleveland, believe it or not.
Not just Cleveland, Detroit.
Cleveland and Detroit have gotten the nods. They're going to be making their return, both their debut and the return back to on the WNBA.
Are we going to see the return of the Cleveland Rockers?
Possibly. We might be seeing the return of the Cleveland Rockers. No words yet on the name for the Detroit WNBA team, but names have been circulating around for that team.
Were there more cities?
Yes,
Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, Philadelphia.
That's new.
Was also announced as well, so we could be seeing.
So here's the thing: Cleveland is coming in 28. I know.
28.
2028.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna butcher what I just said.
Yeah,
Cleveland's gonna come in the league in 2028. Detroit in 2029, and Philadelphia.
Detroit Sharks, maybe.
It's a possibility. The Detroit Shock.
Detroit Shock to come back. We could be seeing the Philadelphia. I don't know. I know they had an old.
There's no Philadelphia WNBA.
Philadelphia did have did have a women's team in a different women's league, the ABL, and they were known as the Philadelphia Rage.
So we could be seeing the Philadelphia Rage make their WNBA debut in 2030.
We'll see about that.
Well, let's just put this way, gentlemen. I like what the WNBA is doing. They're not rushing into it. they're waiting the year after Portland gets in the league because Portland's supposed to join the league next year with Toronto, the Toronto Tempo.
Yeah, because we already got one already going on doing their thing this year with the with Golden State and the Valkyrie. So this is actually the WNBA are taking this expansion thing, and they're doing it the right way. They're doing it in yearly increments.
Yeah, so after next year, they go to after next year. They're not going to expand in 2027. They're going to expand in 2028,
which is smart because they want to make sure that these current expansion teams get some more foothold in. Make sure the foundations are set properly.
Yeah, so which is Cleveland. Cleveland's going to come on in, and then 2029, Detroit will come on in, and then 2030, Philadelphia, and this will put the league at 18 teams.
Which is a good round number, 9 for each conference,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I definitely do like the way how they're doing it.
This is something I feel like this could be a good template for all other leagues could use.
Yeah. I was about to say, we're looking at you, AF1. We're looking at
you. Yeah, looking at you, Jeff Fisher.
Yeah. Now, like we said, there's only one game tonight, and that is the Commissioner's Cup Championship.
Yeah, but our regular schedule will come back this Thursday night. So don't fret, WNBA fans. The regular season will continue this Thursday. So it starts off this Thursday night at 7:00 as the Sparks and the Liberty will do battle at the Barclays Center.
Mm-hmm. Also, we got the Aces and the Fever at the Gambridge Fieldhouse.
At the field, at the field house. The battle of the 8 and 8s at 7:30. At 7:30, I do believe on Peacock. The Seattle Storm are going to go head to head with the Atlanta Dream.
They didn't say, but Network is carrying this game. So
well, I know it's okay. I know it's going to be on the CW.
No, it's not.
Well,
it was said.
No, it does.
Fair
Wait,
enough.
do you need to say he's on Peacock?
Well, I don't know. It says Peach. Never mind. It's Peach something. Peach Network.
Oh, it's a different broadcast.
That's the Atlanta-based CW station that they're.
Okay. Thank you.
TV.
Okay. Now,
also going on over at College Park Center on Thursday, we got the Mercury and the Wings.
That's going to be on Amazon Prime if you have that. Then,
it's not. It's not. The game that's going to be on Prime Video is the Aces and the Fever.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And then rounding out the festivities, over at the Target Center, we got the Lynx and the Mystics going to do battle.
Mm-hmm. So, very, very, very good games to post. Good games to catch.
Apparently, before we get into talking to Manson, there is a bit of breaking news.
Go ahead.
I have it on my screen.
I think I know what it is because we are getting into the men's section. So.
Oh, I'm about to cook in this men's section.
The league basically has been sued for $2.5 million for gambling.
Is this? If I could ask Jamal, is this the wing wong of the week?
What?
Yeah.
It is.
Actually, I will take that because I got that from a podcast dude named Therapy.
For a loan of men. So he's been gambling.
Yes, we know. I got the story. Go ahead, Jamal.
Bottom line, make a gamble.
Yes, a basketball player got caught gambling on teams, so he would qualify as Wing Wong of the week.
I feel like that should be a new feature on this podcast. The Wing Wong of the week, and anytime that happens, we will play the whammy sound effect.
I have determination over who gets that.
Yeah, we already got fuck around, so
also
you know what? Fair enough. But this is from earlier today. I'm reading this. Like we said, Malik Beasley has been sued by a sports agency for breach of contract from alleged unpaid loans amid federal gambling probe, which was and the amount was said by Cody for $2.25 million. This was obtained. This lawsuit was filed by Hazan Sports Management Group. This was obtained by Michigan Live, both Michigan Live and ESPN. Because Beasley has failed to repay Hazan Sports in full a cash advance of $652,000.
And the
He an
Beasley's
idiot.
4.2 contract is on
Right.
hold because of
Right.
the gambling issues.
Yeah, hold on. We'll just bring this up because an attorney for Hazan Sports wrote that the firm elected to take a chance and make a substantial investment of time, effort, and resources in a player with known issues, including and especially financial issues, when it took Beasley on as a client in November 2023.
Yep, and this
Beasley
was
terminated. Hold on, Jacob. Hold on, Jacob. Hold on.
Okay, no, sorry, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Beasley terminated the deal 2 years later on February the 27th, according to the suit. Hazan Sports tried to recoup a $650,000 marketing advance, but received little more than drips and draps of sporadic payments and vague promises to repay the balance over time, the suit alleges. Wow.
Yep.
On June the 11th, an attorney for Hazan Sports requested an extension in the suit to allow the parties to work on a settlement. A potential deal was predicated on Beasley's financial liquidity. Liquidity. Liquidity, thank you, which is directly related to the commencement of the National Basketball Association's free agency period. Well, saying it too soon, he's not going to get signed.
Well, yeah. Well, speaking of that, this gambling probe was reported on the eve of the NBA free agency. Basically, was last later this season with a $1.6 million contract with the Pistons. He was in discussions with the Pistons on getting a three-year, $42 million contract. Well, unfortunately, because of what happened, that contract is now put on ice.
Let's be honest with ourselves here, especially now that that we got serious allegations that he gambled. Do you really think the Pistons are going to go ahead and sign him?
Probably not.
Do the Pistons decide to let their brains fart and actually decide to sign this man?
Let him go.
Yeah.
I know they actually got brains, so they're going to tell him to fuck off.
Anyway, we need to.
Well, let's get to the actual business of why we're here.
Let's get to NBA
dummy. Because there's one team I need to put in the forefront of taking a bullet right now, and for once, it's not Boston. It's the Bucks.
Oh, yeah, Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. Motherfuckers really said to Damian Lillard, "Oh, we're done with you now. We're just gonna go ahead and send you to the wayside." And Damian Lillard's happy with it, which I mean, hey, good for him. But I would like to say the Giannis and Lillard experiment was a complete failure.
Yeah, agreed. Can I quickly say something? Hey, Dame, take a year off, get healthy, then sign that vet minimum contract next year with us to chase a ring. Thank you, that is all.
Feel very betrayed.
Well, I hate to hurt your feelings, Cody, but that's free agency.
That's the way.
That guy who signed from your Pacers to the Bucks, he don't owe you shit. If Ye offered more money than your team offered him, guess what? Tough titty.
Hate to say it, I actually had two other teams I wanted to shit on.
Well, hold on before we proceed. Continue on here, but let me just bring this up. So the Bucks have waived Damian Lillard, and they are stretching the remaining $113 million on his contract in order to acquire free agents. To acquire free agents.
Bless you.
Miles Turner. Sources told ESPN today.
Damn it!
Turner has agreed with the Bucks on a 4-year, $107 million deal that includes a player option for year 4 in 2028 and 2029, and a full 50% trade kicker. Sources told ESPN. Dang. So Lillard's 2 seasons in Milwaukee came to an end as the 7-time All-NBA guard rehabilitates a torn Achilles tendon after undergoing surgery in early May. Lillard welcomed the release Tuesday and will now receive all of the $113 million owed. Will be able to rehab in Portland, surrounded by his family and can choose his next destination on his own time. Now, let me just bring this up. I don't care what you guys think about Damian Lillard. The way how the Bucks just simply just release him,
Which is,
I thought that was kind of dirty.
yeah, that was a bad move right there, and it hurts.
It's business. We would all get treated the same way. We are as expendable as anything else.
You have a point
Yeah,
there.
he's not wrong.
Right.
Yeah. But
And Dennis is unhappy.
Is it right? Is it right? No. But is it something we're gonna have to get used to? Absolutely.
Right, because he's gonna be out for the rest of the season, I believe. So they're like, yeah, we can't use him anymore.
And he's happy. So what's me being mad gonna do?
Yeah.
He got
right, because he's hurt. He's not gonna play for the rest of the season. So what are you gonna do?
So hold on, gentlemen. So Turner, he made it known he wished to remain in Indiana. Since the Pacers' Game 7 exit in the NBA Finals against the Thunder, Turner's reps pushed to get a deal done. Ultimately, Indiana's aversion to the luxury tax, which grew after star Tyrese Halliburton's torn Achilles injury in the finals, allowed the Bucks to acquire their new center. Wow. So he wanted to stay, but the Pacers just didn't offer him the money for him to stay.
I thought he's going to stay, but
nope. It's just basically like, I wanted to stay, but the team didn't want me.
Well, here's the thing, Jacob, because especially with Halliburton being out for possibly all of next season, and the Pacers are already eating that contract. They don't want to go over the luxury tax.
Can I bash two teams?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Gordy. But I think it was kind of expected. I think the Pacers and Celtics are trying to blow up their teams a little bit.
I don't know which one's worse, the Pacers or the Celtics. That's gonna be tough.
Celtics.
Yeah, because
100% it's the Celtics. But both of these teams, I think, are now trying to do a reset quite urgently because of, unfortunately, the injuries which they both suffer, which suck. Wish said it before. Wish Tyrese Halliburton well. Wish Jason Tatum well. But pretty much you were seeing both of these teams gutted right now with players, and pretty much like Al Horford's gone. I mean, the Celtics look what they've lost. If I can be clear, with the Pacers, of course, the guy moving to the Milwaukee Bucks, which Cody's pissed about.
Yep.
These are two teams which have gone from, in my opinion, playoff candidates still, even with the injuries, you would think the playoff candidates to maybe only fighting for a play-in this year.
Which hurts, but
which hurts. But can I tell you why I'm saying that?
Yeah.
Look at what Atlanta are doing. They're actually trying to load up because they sense an opportunity. Here's what is happening in the East. Atlanta sense an opportunity. I don't think they're good enough. I'm being brutally honest, even with the moves.
They smell blood in the water, but they're not.
The team to look out for. Here's the other thing. Detroit have lost a few key pieces. Everyone can tell me the truth. I know Dennis Schroeder's gone. Detroit have lost a few key veterans. Milwaukee, it depends on Giannis's mood. Rumor has it he's not happy about what happened with Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
And if Giannis says he wants out, that's Milwaukee as far as I'm confirmed finished.
Hold on,
hold on, Kat, let me finish. The Cavs will be there because they've still got most of the roster from last season.
Yeah.
The question is, will they change it up? We all know the Knicks are going to be there. And by the way, I'm actually really liking what the Knicks have done in free agency.
Most definitely.
Jordan Thompson on
he's a good shooter. That was a good
Jordan Thompson on a veteran minimum contract who averaged 16 points during last season for the Jazz. We've needed bench scoring. Hello. Gimme.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then the team in the East who I think is really taking a swing for it, the Orlando Magic.
Oh, definitely.
Credit to them, they're going for it, which is why I think the East will still be interesting. But I definitely think Boston and Pacers have moved straight down.
Hold on, Jamie. Let me bring this up because we spoke about Detroit. Duncan Robinson is on his way to the Pistons. for a 3-year, $48 million deal. Now, to get him, they are sending Simone Fontecchio to Miami. So it's gonna be a sign and trade deal.
Interesting deal there between Miami and you said Detroit, correct?
Yes. Now you all hold on, Jacob. You all did speak about the Celtics, and they made some huge moves over last week. So let's go ahead and get to it.
Man, we got the MVP, the best record in the league, and the championship. I can't wait to soak in. We're making a trade. We're making a trade. Ooh, I want in on that. Same. Okay, slow down, guys. One at a time. Okay. Well, now that that's over, we're making another trade with us this time. And us. You guys, I said slow down. Boston, we'll start with you. Which one? Oh, right. We'll do the 3-team one first. We're getting Porzingis. We're getting a pick. And we're getting off of Porzingis' contract. Jesus, Brooklyn, you have 5 first-round picks in this draft. Yeah. Expect another trade. And Atlanta gets better if Porzingis can stay healthy. As long as he's not wearing number 0, we're hopeful. And the other trade? We're getting Drew Holiday, except he's going to stay this time. I think. Yeah, and we're getting Anthony Simons, who we're going to turn into the next Celtics superstar. I have so many thoughts, but not enough time. Washington, we're getting rid of Jordan Poole's contract. I was just kind of bored and hopped on Trade Finder and selected a random one. That sounds about right. I wonder if we could trade Holiday for Lillard. Not a chance in hell. Okay, so much just happened. I think we need to all take a break. I hate it here.
Or Oklahoma City, they couldn't go 5 seconds to celebrate their win, and all this craziness is just going on.
I mean, the truth. Here's a cold truth. Look at the Hawks are relying on Porzingis. Can Porzingis be healthy?
That's a good question.
That's why I don't really.
Also, is it weird to say that they're also relying on Trey Young too?
There is a team which I absolutely think is killing the trade deadline and have really done well in free agency so far. Current winners of free agency, and I don't anyone to disagree, the Houston Rockets.
Oh, most definitely.
That's significant move.
Their heads out of their ass.
I mean, they added Clint Capella. They're loading up. Like, you tell me what the Rockets are doing. It brilliant so far.
They're finally getting rid of that. They're finally getting rid of those old Rockets. They're finally getting some proper. And they've got a really good. They've got a really good thing. And by the way, just one thing. Current losers in the NBA trade deadline, other than those 2 teams in the East, and maybe Milwaukee if the Miles Turner move doesn't work out. There's a clear loser in the West as far as I'm concerned. Hi, Matt. Let's go to your Lakers.
I'm still waiting for the center.
You haven't signed a center, and now what's all this about LeBron maybe wanting out?
No, that's LeBron. He's staying.
Yeah, he is. 1 year, 1 more year.
Yeah, he opted in his contract.
And Austin Reeves, I think they say he refused extension contract. Which gives me, oh, come on.
Well, gentlemen, let me just put it this way. What's going on first and foremost? SGA.
Guys, I'm off.
All right, thanks. I just want to point this out, that first and foremost, SGA, he's getting a new contract. And let's face it, he earned it. He earned that.
Yeah. And it's not just any contract. It's a Supermax as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4-year, $285 million deal.
Bring it in.
Get the truck.
Hold on, it's a little late. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Bring it in. Big money for SGA.
Let's be honest, I said because he earned that contract. How he performed.
This is what happens when you win a championship. You have more room to negotiate money.
Yeah, so my hats out to it. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, also we got to bring up about the draft that took place last week. By the way, look, before we speak about this draft, whoever made the NBA calendar needs to be shot of a cannon.
Before you even start, I would like to acknowledge the Denver Nuggets because they've also made a few moves that have gone quietly ignored for, I think, dangerous reasons. We forget that was the one team that nearly beat the Thunder alongside the Pacers. And them signing Tim Hardaway Jr. is kind of dangerous, considering what he was doing for Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Do not sleep on Denver.
Yeah, Nuggets are gonna be able. Also, Nuggets they traded Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets for Cam Johnson.
That could be significant from Brooklyn.
Yeah, and they're bringing in free agent Bruce Brown to the team. They also acquired Jonas Valanciunas, screw it, from the Sacramento Kings for Dario Saric. So Nuggets, like I said, they want to get back up at the top of the mountain. Here's open. Now,
it did it automatically. I don't know why it did.
First and foremost, on the NBA draft last week, like I said, whoever made the NBA calendar needs to be shy of a cannon. Because we just had the NBA finals, and like 2-3 days later, they just did the NBA draft. Now, first and foremost, it was a no-brainer that Cooper Flag went number 1 to Dallas.
Of course.
I give this about 3 years before we see Cooper Flag be elsewhere, given the Mavericks track record.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Dylan Harper, drafted from Rutgers, going to San Antonio. So interesting pickup there. Number 3, BJ
Edge Combe, I believe, from Bahamas.
Yeah. It's going
it's
going to
Baylor.
Philadelphia. Look like they're gonna begin the new process down there.
Good luck.
Number 4, Con
Canoe Pale, I believe.
Yeah, I think in this case the K part might be silent. Con Nupel is going to Duke. Number 5, Ace Bailey is going to Utah, kicking and screaming.
Significant choice.
Yeah, like I said, he's going to Utah, kicking and screaming. Number 6, Trey Johnson is going to the Wizards.
The Wizards.
Yeah, number 7, Jeremiah Fears is going to New Orleans.
Good luck.
Yeah. Number 8, Igor Dimon is going to Brooklyn. Number 9, Colin Murray Boyles, is going to Toronto. And now this pick is going to Phoenix. Carmen
Malach, I believe.
Malich.
Yep. Or I think Malich.
Yeah. So very intriguing situation going on. Now, but it was more than just us talking about the draft. Let's listen to some of the experts.
All right, let's recap the draft real quick. Mavs, congrats on officially getting Cooper Flag after you won the draft lottery fair and square with no collusion whatsoever. Cooper might not be the most popular flag in the state of Texas, but he'll at least be a close second. What's the most popular? The Confederate. Oh, yeah. You guys are so full of it. We know you rigged the lottery for them. You can't prove that. Anyway, Jazz, pretty bold of you to take Ace Bailey at 5. Why was that bold? Mostly because he made it very clear that he'd rather shoot himself in the leg Plaxico Burress style than ever step foot in the state of Utah. Yeah, well, after getting robbed of the first overall pick, we're not exactly in a position to give a f. We're going to take whoever improves our team the most, even if it is an 18-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. Well, I guess it's still better to have him rotting away in Utah instead of Flag. What was that? Nothing. Hey, you said Ace was 18, right? Yeah, why? Just try not to bring that up too often. I heard if you say teen too loud in the state of Utah, Karl Malone will show up with a box of chocolates and a hotel room key. Atlanta, you had quite the night, huh? Yeah, I mean, we were going to take Newell at 13, but instead we were able to move back 10 spots and still get him while adding another first rounder next year. Yep, and it was a win-win because we moved up and got our guy. No, it definitely was not a win-win. You guys got hosed. Says who? Anyone with more than 2 functioning brain cells. You gave up your first round pick this year and an unprotected first round pick next year just to move up 10 spots. You guys know you're going to be trash next year, right? That pick is incredibly valuable. Hey, we might not be trash. Yeah, and we might not have rigged the lottery. What was that? Nothing. Last thing for now, Suns, I see you drafted Kaman Malawak, which is a great pick, but why did you also trade for Mark Williams? And between him, Nick Richards, and Mason Plumlee, why are you hoarding every center that used to play for the Hornets? The same reason we traded KD for a bag of corn chips. Because you have no idea what you're doing, so you're just doing weird to see what sticks. Yep, got it. Young Hansen.
Man, Rollins, can you do your job right?
Not to mention, I was really pissed because,
Oh, who are you listening to, Jacob?
That was
is okay. Now, just in case you guys are wondering, I'm not too sure whether Brandon is up or anything, but because we see him with his head down. But let's get back to our experts and hear what they think about the draft.
Nice to officially be in the league now. How's everyone feeling about their situation? I'm so honored to be a Warrior. What? I mean, not yet, but I'm just getting ready for when I'm traded to the Warriors in 5 years. Why would you be traded to the Warriors? All-time player at his position nearing the end of his career and a franchise that brings in an insane amount of revenue for the NBA? Oh, so you just think that the league's gonna run it back? I think it's in my contract. Well, how's everyone else feeling about their... Oh, what's that, Ace? You said multiple times that you don't want to play for us, the Utah Jazz. Well, fuck what you want, because you're going to be moving to a state where if it was a spice, it'd be flour. Probably wasn't the smartest idea to take a draft stock, huh? I just needed to fall one more pick, but Utah prefers to build a solid foundation for the future of their franchise instead of what an 18-year-old wants for himself. Can you hear yourself? I'm pretty happy with my landing spot. Getting to play with Wemby is going to be so much fun. And hey, when you guys play us this season, we'll fly one family member out to the game. Sam, thanks guys, that's so kind of you. Yeah, it's from the bottom of our hearts. Or whatever. BJ, how do you feel? Confused because it's me, Maxie, and McCain, but I'm just gonna... Okay, yeah, go on. Trust the process. I don't think I need to hear more, but I'm still gonna try. Ace, how are you?
I don't know what that censorship is.
I think with that long ass censor bar, I think we can hear Ace Bailey's sanity dying.
First of all, I just want to point this out that video pretty much woke Brandon up from his beauty sleep.
Good morning.
Secondly, like I said, Ace Bailey went to Utah kicking and screaming.
That's why.
He got dragged by his leg, and he'll like it.
Yeah, so it's boy. I just want to tell you, it just wasn't pretty. Also, I want to point out back to bench warmer brand.
Okay.
What he said on Karl Malone. Just want to point that out. That was funny. Don't say young. Don't say young around Karl Malone. He'll show up with a box of chocolates and a hotel room key. Geez, you just learn something new every day. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we better go ahead and give a close-up shot here as we get ready to approach the 4th of July. Not a moment too soon.
What did we learn on the show tonight, Greg?
Hey, welcome!
Hey, Johnny!
Hey, Randy and Damian, how you doing?
Hello there. Okay, so I'll let Jamal go first.
Okay, go ahead.
If Jamal's still there. No? Okay, girl, you go. I said, what did you learn?
I learned.
You better not start with me. I was about to say, go ahead. My apologies.
What I learned is that when you have a 3-0 lead over the New England Revolution, keep the foot on the fucking throat.
Yikes.
Otherwise, you drop points in hilarious fashion.
Sounds just like a disappointing Revolution fan.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me, Garrick. You posted a photo on Discord yesterday. You been around? What's all those soccer players?
Yeah, they had the season member event, Revs Day on the pitch, where they meet the players beyond the pitch for a few hours. It was fun.
Yeah, that's say for our resident soccer nut, that was like a field day for you.
Pretty much.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, we thank you so much for joining in.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead, Jamal. I don't want to overtalk you.
Hold on. We did forget one thing. There's another lesson we learned today. The Dame and Giannis experiment was a failure.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Absolute failure.
Yeah. Yeah, nice job, Doc Rivers. Nice work.
Nice job, Milwaukee, as a franchise.
I warned that I'm happy to be back, and I haven't cut anyone off or been booted.
Well, you should be happy that you have certain people on your team. Well, except for Miles Turner.
He's going off.
I got another injury report, and it's on the baseball side.
Mm-hmm.
Did it just happen?
Yeah, it just happened. Chris Sale is in a 60-day IL of a rib injury.
Again?
Who is he playing for?
Boston.
Atlanta.
Oh,
damn.
Good.
Damn.
Man.
How many games are the Orioles behind Boston?
Boston, let's see. Give you a quick second. Give me a quick second.
Oh wait, never mind. I'm a goof. It's Atlanta Braves.
4.
I swear to Almighty Jesus, if the Orioles pass Boston, you will never be able to stop me from trolling.
My bad. It's Atlanta.
Yeah. So Boston is 4th. Baltimore is 5th in the AL East, and that 4 games.
Out till August.
Yeah, so 4 games separates Boston and Baltimore. Wow, that's a tough pill to swallow for Boston. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us here this evening. First and foremost, if you like what you see, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video, and when you do subscribe to our channel, please hit the bell so that
okay, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, so that you will know whenever we stream. I want to thank Mama. I want to thank Hit Kid. Want to thank Matt. Want to thank Garrett. Welcome back, Cody. Just want to thank everybody for joining us here in the bar this evening. Let me go ahead and wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July coming up this weekend. 4th of July is on Friday, and hoping that everyone has a happy and safe holiday season. Please don't burn down your CDs.
Be careful with the fireworks.
Yeah, like I said, please don't burn down your CDs. You don't want your version of the Great Chicago Fire. So please take care of your CDs.
Hey, we didn't start the fire.
Okay, easy over there, Billy Joel.
For God's sake.
Yeah, we thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Jacob, you ready to go over there? Or do you want me to close this?
I got it.
All right, then go ahead, Jacob. Take us home.
Thank you. Yeah. Yep. What a way to kick off the month of fireworks and the month of July. Safe to say that this month is going to get very interesting, to say the least. With of course the MLB's going through the dog days of summer, and of course the off season is kicking off for both the NBA and the NHL as of late, joining in with the NFL's festivities.
And Jacob, don't forget, we are 10 Sundays until we are back.
That's true, and of course college football as well. Don't forget that. And we got still got a long way to go, and still a short time to get there. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, say it's going to be a lot of. Say we still got a lot more to go, and on the racing lot. And if you are a racing fan as well, you got a big weekend coming up because the British Grand Prix is coming up as well over at Silverstone. So if you're excited for that, go get ready for it. And of course, in the soccer world, the Club World Cup is about to wrap up, and we're about to find out very soon who's going to be hoisting the Club World Cup trophy for the first time ever. Nonetheless, if you like what you saw with episode 181 of the VWU Sports Podcast, then please do us all a favor and subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, then like it and share it across all social media platforms. That being, of course, Facebook, Twitter, and Blue Sky. We don't touch Instagram and TikTok for 2 reasons. One, Instagram is too toxic, even for us, and TikTok is TikTok. And if you want to be notified when we go live on the airwaves, which is every Tuesday night, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, on our YouTube channel, then please do us all a favor and hit the bell.
It's filled up for the home run derby.
Yeah, fair enough. Then you'll be notified when we go on the airwaves. Until then, We need to go rest up and get ready for our 4th of July weekend. For our 4th of July festivities and have fun as always. For our buddies, Cody, Matt, Durock, and Jamal and Hickman. For our executive producer, Jose, and for my boys, Brandon and Carter. This is JB. We are signing off. We will see you guys next week for episode 182 of the VWU Sports Podcast. Until then, y'all stay safe. Y'all have yourself a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and we see you guys.
One more thing. If you're going to make fireworks, please drink responsibly.
Yes, please do. And have yourselves a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Fireworks in the House of Torch was the best faction.
Hey, I am back in the